Okay, so here's a 74 Ford Bronco. It's got a 9,500 pound winch with synthetic line. Color matches the truck. It's got a pair of Hella HID driving lights up front and a pair of KC driving lights down lower. Under the hood is the stroked 351. It's a 392 cubic inch engine. It's got throttle body fuel injection. That starts right up. It's got dual Optima batteries front. The aluminum radiator that we discussed. The solenoid for the winch is under the hood, and the air compressor for the ARBs. It's got a Hydro Boost brake setup, and big old hole cut in the hood to clear the air cleaner. So that's the one spot in the inner fender well that you saw, and it does extend forward a little bit as well on that inner fender on the driver's side. The fender wells on the passenger side are pretty clean. That's the spot I mentioned. The dual battery setup is set up with one battery always in backup, charging off the alternator. So it's got a one it always uses on start, one it uses for the stereo and whatnot when you're parked, and then you can hook them together to start. So the axles, like we discussed, off of 77 F-150, get you a high pinion front end. Coming back to the Atlas transfer case through the NV3550. You can see the Heim jointed radius arms. It's not the bushings that get bound up. Also full width rear end. And the new drive shaft on the back side. The U-joint had gone bad, and I just decided to replace the whole thing. The slip joint on the old one had pretty much frozen up. It's got Rancho 9000s, 2 on each corner. It gives you a look of what the frame looks like on the bottom side. Here's the interior. That Atlas is twin stick. So you can drive the rear and the front independently. The front will drive independently in low range only. The NV3550, of course, the 5-speed. I've got a Tuffy center console here with drink holders and a Tuffy glove box. So when we rewired it, this is the control for the batteries. So up is charging both. The middle turns off the charging to the backup battery, and down is the emergency that links them both together. The rewire is prior to all USB rage, so I've got a pair of cigarette lighters. Today I would have put a USB in it. But got toggle switches for the lights that we added on, so you can toggle the reverse lights. There's also a line going back to the back end for a lighted whip. And then over here on the top is the Hellas, and then the KC lights. And the little warning light there is for the computer for the fuel injection. The ARB controls are on the bottom of the steering column, so there's compressor, front and rear. This is the switch that did activate the electric fan up underneath. I've disconnected that since. The gauges all work except for the speedometer, but the fuel quantity works, oil pressure, temperature, and alternator all works. Here's the controller for the winch. So you can control it from the driver's side. Winch in, up, and down is for winch out. There's also a handheld winch controller for it. got the individual motor windshield wipers. They are not synchronized. It's just a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. And then I've got the doors off of it now, so I have these fiberglass inserts. I've got a pair of mirrors that mount on the roll cage on the driver's side and passenger side to get you rear view mirror. So it is a 6-point cage. It's got a dome light. It has a wire already run for CB antenna. Runs all the way to the back. And the mounting point for the antenna is back here. I just used one of the spare tire mounts, turned it upside down, and it mounts right there. Billet mount for the fire extinguisher. The back seat here is a fold and tumble unit that folds and tumbles. Give you access to the back end. The guys who did the rewire job built these side quarter panels for me. I do have brand new quarter panels that match the front seat interior that could be put in, but they added storage compartments on that side and one over here on the driver's side as well. The one on the driver's side is a locked unit. The one on the far side has I put gloves and the remote control for the winch and the fuel spout for the spare gas can. So mount for the CB antenna, spare fuel can. There's also an ice chest holder that goes on top of this. I don't have it installed right now. The other side of the back bumper has the spare tire, obviously, but it also holds the high lift jack, and it just locks down to keep. I need to get that locked. Keep folks from stealing your junk. Over here on the right hand side I use the other original spare tire holder, and that's the power line for the lighted whip. Just goes in there for cruising around the dunes. So this is the body on the passenger side. Pretty solid. There is this little bit of peeling paint. It never, some folks will call that rust. It never proceeded any more than what you see here, so it's not eating into anything. But just about every Bronco that I've looked at that has original paint has something like that on it. Here on the driver's side, or passenger side rather, and let me see if I can get in here. So under the carpet, this is the spot I was talking about on the floorboard. The floorboard itself solid, as you can see, and the front side is solid. It's just this this interface between the two. I don't know what happened here, but it is what it is. Just trying to think. Let me show you the other side, the floorboard on the other side. Let's get a good look at the body there. And the floorboard on the other side, as again, pretty solid. They had to cut out here when they made a special cross member for the transmission when they put that in. So that's why that's cut out. Is it that or that's the body mount? I don't recall which. But yeah, you can see that floorboard is pretty solid. There is, let me point that out, around the emergency brake cable. That could use repair, but otherwise that's pretty much it. The seats are in good shape. I recovered those and then just put these t-shirts on it to keep them from getting gross. This fold and tumble seat's nice because it gives a whole bunch of leg room here in the back. The stereo was nicer. Someone stole my subwoofer, so there it is. And let me see if I can find the doors.